I wanted to bring up this weird situation that took place in Toronto over the weekend involving a fan and Nick Suzuki. During warm-up for that Canadiens Leafs game, Nick Suzuki gives his stick to a fan. They do a nice little photo op. It looks great. And you think, all right, that's a really nice thing for Nick Suzuki to do. And then we learn that the fan, the young boy and his family, couldn't stay in the arena because of the fact that they had that stick, and everyone's getting all mad, all up in arms, thinking, well, why wouldn't they let him stay in the arena with that stick? Couldn't the arena just hold it for him? And it was later revealed by MLSC that they did give him the option to hold on to the stick until the end of the game, but the fan decided, you know what, I want to go back, I want to leave with the stick. So they the family left back to their hotel room anyway. Still just a very weird situation. Dan, I'll start with you. What did you think of that entire ordeal? It's a bit of a weird story that came out in the last few days.
So you're telling me he could have hung onto the stick and watched the rest of the game with it at his seat?
Well, I think the arena, I don't know where they would have had it, but they apparently gave him the option that they would hold on to it until the end of the game.
Well, then I don't know why they wouldn't do that. It's funny. I mean, I just saw what happened on Twitter, and I saw the dad's tweet, and I thought, well, if I was told that I had to leave with my kid with the stick, I don't think it would happen. I mean, I don't know if the usher or whoever it was inexperienced. I would think that they could have gone to somebody higher up to kind of explain the situation and make the best out of it. I think the Canadiens have made the best out of the situation, and the poor kid got a fat lip with the puck hitting him. But you know what? It showed a nice side of Nick Suzuki, too, that he obviously felt badly for the kid. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just for me, just reading the whole thing and understanding what's going on, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know what really happened.
Yeah, it was really confusing because it was pretty clear from the initial picture that he got the stick in warm-up, right?
Yes.
Suzuki tried to throw a puck over the glass, and the kid didn't catch it, hit him in the face. He was crying. He was still kind of half crying in the picture. And my assumption when the story first came out was that right after that happened, Maple Leafs fan service, ushers, people, or MLSC fan service came over and said, listen, we'll check the stick for you, and you'll get it back after the game. And the kid was so upset that he wouldn't let go of the stick, right? Because I have small kids. I get that. When the kid's in like the upset zone, you can't really break it. You have to wait it out. So that's what my assumption was. And the father was just like, whatever, we'll just leave. Which to me is crazy because the seats that they were sitting in probably cost like $800 each, right?
Yeah.
So that to me was like, oh, that hurts the wallet. And then they went online after and tried to like get something out of it, the Canadiens for it essentially. But then the Maple Leafs fan services said that they took the stick away because the fan was walking in the concourse with 10 minutes remaining in the game with the stick. So at that point, I'm like, there's 10 minutes left.
Yeah. So this kid must have had it for most of the game. And then you say, I'm going to kick you out. Like, that doesn't make sense.
At that point, I don't understand why they wouldn't just let the kid have it, because there've already been 2 intermissions. You know, it's not like they're going to do anything. They got it at the beginning of the game. So now I'm like, who's not like, there's more to this story that's not exactly being told to us, but I'm glad that the Canadiens are making it right. Either way, it seems like the Maple Leafs just could have handled this better. If it was at the beginning of the game and the kid was upset, the ushers could have said, you know, let the kid calm down. We'll come back later. Then we'll check the stick. If it was at the end of the game, just let it go, man. It's the end of the game. Just let it go. I know that you think a stick is a weapon, but even if you check the stick at the end of the game, they'll have to walk out of the building with the stick through the crowd, right? So what are you trying to avoid here? They've already had the stick through 50 minutes of hockey. Like, I just don't get it. It just seems like it didn't need to happen.
Before Rick makes his point, I just want to add the Canadiens did say that they will, at the store, the Tricolore Sports store. Wow, my French is weird today. Tricolore Sports store today. They wanted to offer the fan a Nick Suzuki jersey. So, yes, the Canadiens are addressing this. Rick, go ahead.
To me, it's too much for me. Ridiculous how they handle that for a young kid. The kid's name Hunter takes a puck in the face and think that he's a threat by having the hockey stick. maybe they were worried if they, if they put the stick aside somewhere that somebody in the security would steal it. But, I think the root of the problem here is probably the security guard or usher, whatever, didn't like the fact that the kid was wearing a Canadiens jersey. So some things, never change. And no matter whether you're on
the location
or off the ice, just poorly handled and, really, not very nice to see something like that for a young kid to have to go through and deal with that. So a real, not a nice mark or impression by the Montreal or the Toronto Maple Leafs organization.
Yeah, and organizations like the Leafs aren't one of them that I've known, but there are teams around the league that if you're wearing the opposing team's jersey in camera range along the benches, they don't like it, right? Like, do you remember the Tampa Bay Lightning over the last couple of playoffs? In the playoffs, they will make you take off your jersey or they'll kick you out. Different, especially Sunbelt teams, they want to make sure that it's their jerseys showing on the camera. I don't know if the Leafs
we might have to fact check that, but definitely there are teams that really want to ensure that the fans that are into their buildings are their own fans, and they'll do everything they can to ensure that those people buying tickets are their own fans. That for sure has happened.
Well, I remember there was a few years ago when the Canadiens were facing the Lightning in the playoffs in like the second round. It must have been like 2015 or something. They had like geo-locked the ticket so that if you had a Quebec like internet IP address, you couldn't buy tickets to the Tampa Bay games. Like, teams do want their own fans in the games. They want their own fans to be shown on TV. But this, I don't know if that's what this was, and it was a punishment for being a Canadiens fan or whatever. But no matter what, they didn't handle it well.
Yeah. Anyway, weird story, but at least the Montreal Canadiens are going to address it with that fan. Let us know in the comments section what you think of that entire story, and be sure to subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out show while you're here, as well as the Hockey Inside Out newsletter, MontrealGazette.com/newsletters. Visit hockeyinsideout.com, where you can read some great stuff. I hear Andrew sometimes contributes to the website every now and again, so hey, maybe you'll come across an Andrew Berkshire story. You should read it. It's good for you. It's like vegetables.